Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing. Today I decided to come back and actually do a demonstration of the index cards that I had shared in another video with some other ephemera. I will be sure to link the channel that inspired this for me, Shanouki Art, but I don't think I'm saying that right, but I'll be sure to link her channel. Phenomenal mixed media artist in terms of just the simplicity of what she creates has been really inspiring to me, because I tend to overcomplicate mixed media and I tend to get into a little bit of a mess doing that. So I have been watching her channel and really enjoying it. So I'm going to follow some of the same principles and ideas that she uses. A little bit of variety in my own style also. But we're going to start with adhering some tissue paper. This is Tim Holtz tissue paper in both of these cases. And we're going to adhere that to the index cards. I did also double the cards because to me they're too flimsy. So they're just they're almost like copy paper thin, really thin. So I actually glued two of these together in each of my examples here. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to do some stenciling with some texture paste. I picked a couple of stencils just randomly from my stash, and I've got a number of supplies out here, some bits and pieces of ephemera, scraps, and things that I'll be using in each of these projects. So I'm going to go ahead and remove all this stuff, and I may not use it all. I typically don't, but I wanted to have it all picked out just in case I wanted to go ahead and use it. So the only thing I'm leaving is the rice paper and the index cards in both cases. Looks like I need to cut this one down. So I want to have those birds show as much as I can. So I can actually cut it down after I adhere it. So I'm just going to go ahead and go for it. I didn't gesso these or anything at this point. I may apply some clear gesso as I move along, because the gesso actually really grabs the medium and helps it to really pop out. So I'm going to go ahead and just adhere this rice paper. I hope you all are doing well. It's kind of an overcast summer day here in Washington State. I'm sure it will heat up later, so I'm taking advantage of studio time while it's not too warm. Do have a little bit of lifting here, so I'm going to try to get a little bit of matte medium under here. See if I can get that to go down. It's not exactly right, but it's okay. And then we're going to apply a little bit of gesso to kind of push back a little bit, especially on this one here, because it's a little bit dark and busy. So as you can see, and then I'm going to also be stitching around this, so I'm not too concerned about those edges lifting at all. So we're going to go ahead and get a little bit of gesso out here, and I'm just going to put a little bit on my mat so I can use my fingers. Some gesso in here. It also helps to pick up that texture, because there are some wrinkles on this the surface here. So just pushing it back a little bit. If you wipe too much off, you can always apply more, or if you put too much down, you can wipe it off with a baby wipe. So I think this one's perfectly fine. I am going to just add a little bit. Actually, I'm going to get my clear gesso out because I don't want to cover up any of that color, and so the clear gesso will allow me to do that and not affect the print when it's dry. But the texture, again, creates this beautiful texture on the surface. Little fumbly fingers today. And you'll notice that when we start to add some mediums to this, that gesso does play a part in how it plays out. So I'm going to go ahead and dry this and wash my fingers, and I'll be right back. Okay, these are dry. I also took them over to my sewing machine and did my stitching. This one was a little bit tacky, so my machine had a lot of trouble. It kept sticking, it wouldn't move through, so I just made the best of it. I still love it. The grungy look, the messy look is beautiful, and that's what I love about the style of this artist that I've been following. So I did some double stitching, did some crooked stitching, made it look like I did all that on purpose. So there we go. So let me go ahead and, oh, I need some water for my brushes here. Hold on a second, guys. I keep these containers from old ice cream in my cabinet behind me, so I can just grab water. I don't have to get up and go in the kitchen and get it. So let me just do that really quick. Get my brush in the water. So now we're going to do some texturing with some stencils. So I've got my Liquitex flexible modeling paste we're going to use on this. This does create a drying time kind of issue, but I think it's going to be good. So I almost think these stencils are too big though. So let me grab my littler ones here really quick and see if I've got something from Tim Holtz that would be smaller, because those stencils the stencil designs are pretty big, and I think they might be a little bit too big for these cards. So let me just flip through here and see what we've got. Some music notes. Circles are too big. Well, not feeling the splatters. I've got a couple in here that might work. This one might be good. Some little flowers. And then, sorry, trying to get that back in there. And then, how about we do this one? I think this will be better. Here we go. All right, so I've got my modeling paste out. My mats keep slipping everywhere on me. So how about we put this one on here? I'm going to actually do it this way so that I can kind of get it all on here at once. I wanted to do the stitching first because I don't want to affect my sewing machine, and I already have done that. It's going to cover the stitching, but that's okay. It's still showing through, which is good for me. Good enough for me, rather. Oh, that stencil bit was torn. That's okay. We just want a little bit of texture. So here we go. That's going to be lovely. Okay, we're going to pause and dry this, and I'll be right back. Okay, these are dry. And here's just a close-up again of that color. Beautiful, rich color. In retrospect, I really didn't need to come in with this gesso because this color, the sepia and the texture really pushed back a lot of that background, but I really, really like it. Really like it. It's beautiful. So when I started gathering supplies, I was thinking more along the lines of kind of building clusters and stuff. I'm not exactly sure if that's what I'm going to do, but I'm going to go ahead and pull the stuff over here for this first project. and decide what I want to do here. I did want to bring in some bits like this tape and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this down a little bit. And I'm going to cut it in half. I only want a little bit of it. And I'm going to tear this because I want kind of a raggedy edge so that I can ink that up really pretty. I'm going to go ahead and prep all these bits, and then I'll decide what I actually want to use. So I won't have to, you won't have to watch me do all the inking and stuff. So you just tear this down and then I'll ink and we'll be back. Okay, so I've got my elements inked up, and I picked this little Tim Holtz little girl that I wanted to put on here. So now I'm just going to kind of build an ephemera, a cluster of ephemera here, or at least that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to kind of come up in this corner just because there's not a lot going on under the surface there. So I want to kind of just make this interesting on this side. I love layering. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that I say that every time. I don't want to go overboard. I want to keep these really simple. So as you can see, I've got a lot of stuff here, and I'm not going to necessarily use it all. So I really like that red because I have this red button that I want to use. Where did it go? Where's my red button? Uh-oh. There it is. I really like that red button, so I wanted to use it, but I'm not sure if it's going to really fit here. Maybe over here, and I can put like a word or something on it. Maybe we'll do that. So I already have a lot going on here. A lot. So I'm going to go ahead and put these. I do like the butterfly though. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to put our girl on top of it, like so. And I think that's really it. I cut this as you saw, but I don't think I'm actually going to use that. I'm going to actually use this on the top of the card, just like I did on these ones. And this is also from that artist where she took little bits of paper scraps and then she just did some stitching and left it all like messy. And I love that look. So, and I think on this one I might see if I can go around it with red. I'm not sure if I've got an ink that will work, but we'll see. So let me go ahead and take this off, and we're going to go ahead and adhere these. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac just because it's what I have out here, and it adheres really quickly. She uses hot glue. I'm not a big fan of that just because the way my studio is set up, my work area is on a table in the kind of in the middle of the room, so I don't really have a plug on this the right side of me. I'm right-handed, so that would be really challenging, but she uses hot glue, so use what you have, use what you like. You just want it to, you know, adhere really well. And I think I do want a bit of lace. It's one thing I didn't pull out, so let me see if I've got a scrap here really quick. I always like a little bit of lace bit or something textural I've got this material here that I adore using. It frays really bad though, like you could completely unravel it just by touching it. It's crazy. So we're gonna get that on there too. Oh, I like that. Kind of come up like so. Actually, we might put her on that. It's just about the right size. How about we do that? I'm gonna go ahead and get this all on here. This is the She paper from SeanPetite.com collage packs. If you've never checked out her stuff, I would encourage you to do so. She's got incredible stuff on her website. So I used to be on her design team, and I just had a blast doing mixed media projects with her and learned a lot from her. I'm going to kind of go down with that. Losing the visibility of some of that stitching, but it's quite all right. And then our girl, I think we're just going to put our girl kind of right here. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that with my Fabri-Tac as well. And I love the cluster look. I love all these elements being able to be part of something that looks, you know, really planned, even though it's really not. So let's go ahead and get our girl on here. Okay. I have a ton of these, and for the longest time, these paper dolls just wigged me out. I didn't like them, but I've seen artists use them, and they just look amazing. So I did forget to get a word, so let me go ahead and grab a word from my stash here really quick. Sorry about that. It's usually one of the first things that I do, and for some reason I didn't. So let me find a good little word that will fit. Like, let's see, dream. Nope, it needs to be longer because I've got I am gonna put it on this red bit. Sorry, that's off camera, guys. I can do hard things. Yep. Let's do that. I'm going to trim it down though, because it's a little bit too wide to go on that piece of, it's like a canvas material. I didn't do this. This is actually a Tim Holtz ephemera that I purchased. And I've never used them. So I'm going to start using that stuff. I actually am thinking about trying to do mixed media on old playing cards. That's another thing that this artist does on her channel, or has done on her channel, and it's really cool because you just get, you know, it's just such a small little area. Small little area, and you can really practice some phenomenal mixed media techniques. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna put a little bit of this underneath that just to kind of bring that same element across. So let me get some of this cut here really quick. It's really not working very well. I'm all thumbs. Let's just get that in there. Needs to be just a bit longer than that piece, so that's why I'm cutting a new little bit here. That's a little bit, that might be a little bit too long. Nope, I think it's fine. Get that here on the bottom. And of course you could put as much color into this background as you wanted to, and I will definitely be playing with that and experimenting with using different colors similar to what I do in my mixed media art. I want it on the brown side that I already inked, so I'm gonna turn that over. Get that on there like so. So you do lose a lot of the background, but it's enough that you can see it and get a gist of what is going on, and it's peeking in all those little empty spaces, so I think it's just fine. You can do this as simple or as complex as you want. It's totally up to you. So, oh, I love this. I can do hard things. Yes, I can. So the last thing is to put this little bit on. This one's going to be a little more challenging because it doesn't have the same, actually I think I'm going to go like this because on my other ones I had more of a edge there to be able to actually glue. This one doesn't, so I think I'm going to go ahead and fold it like so and let the zigzag part be on the front, and then I'll glue the other one to the back. And I don't know what I'm going to do. These are probably going to be pockets, so I'm not too concerned about the backs at this point. But you could certainly cover them and make them, make them look better. Totally up to you. Actually, I want that, the glue. I want that to stick up a little bit more, so I'm going to move that a little bit. I want it to be I want it to act kind of like a tab. So, there we go. It's not really sticking up very much, is it? Let's move that baby. There we go. Okay, so I've got my little heart still. We want to get that on there to kind of just bring out that color is beautiful. So I think I'm going to put it, oh, right there. Yep. There we go. So that is index card 1. And before I do the other one, I'll bring the camera closer. I realize that as I'm working, it's probably not the best. But there she is. I can do hard things. So that is card number 1. So I gotta move some stuff here. I got a mess. So let me move the camera. It's just that it sits really close to my table when I do this because I don't have a zoom on my camera, so I just literally have to manually move the arm. So okay, so now we have this one, and again we have tons of ephemera and bits over here to use, which I was thinking more of a cluster on a different surface, I guess, when I was pulling this stuff, so it's not going to really going to do it for me. And I don't really want to cover up that bird, but I like that. This is another one of those things from Tim Holtz, so I'm going to go ahead and ink it up a little bit, just make it a little bit more grungy. And I'm going to go ahead and ink up the other things that I think I might use, just to kind of save time here. So I think I'm going to like that on there. And then I really liked this tape, but it doesn't really go with it, does it? We'll see. This is a little bit big, so I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to use it. I loved this this number. This is off of a pattern. I thought it was really kind of unique, so I think I'm going to use it. And shall we do that? Maybe I should go this way. Oh, nope, because my girl's going to go on it. Covering up a lot of stuff over here, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of play with layering this stuff up a little bit. And then we'll go ahead and adhere it and get everything glued down. I've got some of this paper. I'd like to put down as well, just to kind of make it stick out a bit. I do want to bring in a little bit of color, so I pulled this from my stash. It's just a scrap from a digital, and I definitely want that because I want to kind of bring out a little bit of color in this. So maybe like so. And I also pulled this out, but I don't think I'm going to use it. And then I have these. These are also from Tim Holtz. They're little like a faux metal thing, or what you call it. But I actually might use that instead of the other tabby thing. I'm not sure. I wonder if they bend. They do bend. That might be epic. Huh. Maybe we'll do that instead of that other thing on the top. Instead of this. We'll see. So let's see. Do I need any other texture on here? I think this is actually really, really good. I'm going to put this under our people, just to create a little bit of interest. So now I'm going to go ahead and ink my other elements up really quick. So hopefully I'll remember. It's always the tricky part, remembering where you had everything when it was fresh in your brain. But there's no right or wrong, so even if it doesn't go back the way that you had originally planned, it's always awesome anyway, at least in my opinion. I'm never disappointed. Sometimes I'm disappointed if I go overboard, like I put too much, and then I'm like, oh man, kind of defeated the purpose of what I was going for. But this is just stuff for your junk journal, so it's no big deal. Okay, so let's go ahead and get that out of the way. And we're going to position this so that we can figure out where we want that. So I'm going to put this down. Again, just using my Fabri-Tac because it's here. It's easy. Use what you have. Make sure I've got enough room there. Yep. Move it over a little bit. And then, can't remember if I had, well, we're going to find out, aren't we? I already forgot the order. All right. So you can do a little bit of cluster. This is a pretty small space to work in, so I just got overzealous with my pulling my stuff from my stash, so you just can kind of alter as you go. And I just want a little bit of that peeking out. And then let's go ahead and get this on top of our little canvas taggy thing here. This is actually vellum from an old scrapbook kit that I had called, I think it was called Georgia Blues. It was from scrapbook.com, Stamperia, I believe. Or no, yeah, I'm not sure. But anyway, you can use, again, what you have. We got a little bit of yellowing going on there. I'm not sure where that came from. Maybe from the ink. So we're going to go ahead and get this on as well. Like so. We got quite a bit of ink on this one girl, so I need to kind of fix that a little bit, even it out. I've actually used my alcohol markers. I have used these a couple of times before, and I've used alcohol marker to color like the dress or the bows, and it actually adds quite a bit to the piece. So I'm wondering if I could put one of these down here, or if that would be too much. Probably overkill, huh? Less is sometimes more. It's just so fun, isn't it? Get our girls on here. I'm actually kind of liking those. Kind of scared me for a while there. So we pulled this one out. So how about we do Make Today Beautiful? That would work on this card. But I do want to put something underneath it. So let me see if I can find a scrap of lace. I don't want to use that same stuff that I had before because it's nice to have something fresh. Let's see if I can find a bit somewhere. My stash. I got a little bin here of all my scrap ribbon and stuff. Works out really well. How about this? This is from an old garment. Ah, I like that. It needs to be cut down though. What do you think? Yep, just a little bit of a little added texture. I don't think you can have too much texture, at least not in my world. Some might disagree, but I love texture. So let's go ahead and ink up this word. I'm going to cut it down just a little bit, just on the ends here. Ink it up really quick, and then we will be done. I am going to go around each of the pieces with ink. On the darker one that we just did with the red elements, I'm going to outline that or go around that with black ink. And on this one, I'll do the vintage photo. So get our word on, or our quote on. Make today beautiful. Yeah, make today beautiful. Even when life is hard, we can make today beautiful. So I was debating on this, so I think I'm going to give it a try. I don't know if these are stickers or what. Let me see if I can figure it out. I've never used them before. You get to see my grungy fingers here. Even if it's a sticker, I won't rely on that adhesive, so I think I'm going to just go ahead and put it on with my glue here. Fabri-Tac, and kind of make it be like a tabby thing over here. Hopefully it will work and hold. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to hold that really quickly until it sets a little bit. I like the kind of that shiny bit on that. I think that's going to work just fine. Nice. Okay, and now I can't do my edging there, so that was kind of silly. So I'm going to start with this one because I've got my vintage photo ink out. So I'm just going to ink around all the edges just to catch any white spots that are showing. I'm going to leave those threads there. I absolutely love that. Never thought I would love that messy look because I'm a pretty neat and orderly kind of person, even in my art. So it surprises me that I like that. But I do. So there is that one. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it. Love collaging. Okay, so now we're going to go in with the black ink with my other sponge here and just do a little bit of edging around that as well, even up here on top of our little added element. Just because there's a little bit more of a black and red kind of feel to this. And it's just a different look. You could totally do it with the vintage photo or whatever you have. So I don't really tend towards the black on this type of thing, but in this case I think it's really beautiful. So there's number 2. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. I'm really thinking about doing doing a 52 card challenge and just doing a one playing card a week and just see if I like it or not. Again, it's a great way to keep your feet wet in mixed media, playing around with techniques and different supplies and things like that. So if you haven't already liked and subscribed, I'd appreciate it if you did. I love the opportunity to have people watch what I'm creating, not because it's anything like spectacular or any different than what anybody else is doing, but I want people to be able to see that there are all kinds of ways to create simple, more complex. That's the way you find your style, is playing around and seeing what you like. So I hope that you'll give it a try, and I'll see you around next time. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.